So Merit was kind enough to send over their new tinted sunscreen, and this is called the Uniform. It's a tinted mineral sunscreen, SPF 45, and I have the shade 18, which is camel and khaki, which actually is the same shades that I use in the foundation stick. And as you guys can see, it comes in this really nice pump bottle. I feel like it's very like fancy. It just looks very luxurious, which is very on brand for Merit, but at the same time very minimalistic, which I love. I will say my skin has been looking pretty good. I mean, I do have some scarring, a little bit of redness, but overall, like, my skin has been doing a lot better than it normally has been the past couple months, and I think it's due to like a new product that I integrated. It's a buildable light as air formula, sheer natural finish, 100% mineral zinc oxide active, non-comedogenic and safe for sensitive skin, oil-free, silicone-free, zero white cast. It comes in 15 sheer shades to complement your shade of the minimalist, which is the foundation slash concealer stick. If your shade is not quite right, please let us know and they'll help us find the perfect match. But I did shade match myself to the same shades that I use in the sticks, so this was very easy for me. I actually do use the sticks very often in my day-to-day life just because it's very easy, and usually I'm going for like very minimal coverage, just trying to, spot conceal, correct some redness and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see how this works with that. I don't know if that's what we're going to do today. We're going to see how buildable it is. I love the fact that it comes with a pump. Okay, so we're just gonna, should I start with one pump? Okay, so that's what one pump looks like. Let's do 2 pumps so that way I can try to cover my face. How about we do half of the face first? Just based on that color match, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna use my fingers because since it's a sunscreen, that's normally what I would do anyways. And that is honestly a perfect color match for me. Now let's see, in terms of coverage, I mean, definitely light coverage. I think that what I would do though is probably put this all over the face and then go in, like I said, with the foundation stick or any other full coverage product like my NARS concealer and then spot conceal. And I think that I would have like a really good base for every day. I love how that looks. And I feel like while it is very dewy, it's not overwhelmingly so, because normally I hate having like this greasy sticky feeling all over the face. I feel like this is pretty good for a sunscreen. And this is without it. And what do you guys think? Definitely more even. I think it's a little bit darker, but honestly my face, like, the color changes every single day. So I think this will be good because you guys can see my skin's a bit lighter, definitely more splotchy, definitely more red in this area. And then over here it just looks so uniform. Get it? That's why it's called the Uniform. Okay, we're gonna do the other side with the leftover pump that I have. I will say, I think for the entire face, this was pretty decent. I might need a little bit more on this side though. Okay, I definitely need more on this side. It's definitely like a little bit tacky on the skin, but it feels a lot more dried down already, which is pretty fast, so. I'm actually really impressed. And I didn't really know what I was expecting because I can be like pretty picky with sunscreens. Sometimes it's like too, just like it feels too much on the face. It's too, like it's almost like too hydrating and like too illuminating that I just look like a big grease ball, because ultimately my oils are going to come through at the end of the day and it's going to look like a lot. But honestly, right now, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Like, I think this looks phenomenal. Okay, love that. Let's go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. We're gonna do a check-in time, and I'll probably check in with you guys periodically throughout the day. So 11:09, so let's see how this wears. They were actually saying that this sunscreen pairs well with the Merit Stick, and I have my Merit Stick in the shade Khaki. I do actually use this a lot, so this was in my everyday makeup drawer because I use this to spot conceal, or on days like if I'm going to the gym or something and I just want to like do something really quick. Something about a stick feels really quick and is so much easier than putting on liquid. So I definitely recommend checking these out if you're interested in a more just like spot conceal, very quick kind of foundation situation. I have a bunch of shades in these, to be honest. Like, I go back and forth between camel and khaki. I honestly don't think there's like a huge difference between the shades. This is just what I have in my drawer right now. So I'm gonna use this to spot conceal. As you can see, very creamy and emollient. I actually don't have a lot going on the face right now because I have been using this product from pharmacy, which I'll probably show you in a bit, but it actually cleared up my skin a lot. I was suffering with a lot of texture and hyperpigmentation, which, you know, I'm a brown girl, like I definitely expect that that's gonna happen every once in a while. But I think that ever since I started using that product more on like I've been using it every other night, it has cleared up my skin so freaking much. Like the texture is like almost perfect and I'm shook. Do a little something something. This product is very emollient and I really like that because it glides very easily. It doesn't really have like a dry look to it. The foundation sometimes comes out of the component, so sometimes I'll open it and it'll just like go flying. Like it'll be like a stick of foundation that just like flies away. So be careful with that. This is the Heavenly Luxe complexion brush. I like it because one side is a concealer and the other side is for foundation. So especially on days when I'm like in more of a rush or I just like need to get dressed really quick, this is the brush for me. Also, I'm filming on a different camera than normal for this channel because I actually, first of all, let's talk about how this has been the week. I don't know, actually I do know that there's something going on in the stars right now, but I just didn't think that I was going to be affected as much as I have been. And let me just tell you that everything has been going wrong. And I hate that, but closing out a lot of cycles, and that can be great, but that could also be not so great because stuff like this happens where like things just like, it feels like things are just like going wrong. But ultimately, I still pushed through and I managed to have a pretty decent week for like everything going on. So I'm pretty happy about that. Let me know how you guys are doing, how you guys are holding up. I know it's a lot, like, and if you guys follow my vlog channel, which shamelessly, let me go ahead and plug that. I'm currently in nursing school full time and trying to, you know, live my life, create content, do everything on top of that. So, you know, I'm sure if you guys watch the vlog channel, you know, it's been a busy year for me. I don't necessarily mean that as a bad thing, but I feel like we're like 50-50. Like some things are going great and then other things are like, what is even happening right now? Two concealers I want to talk to you guys about. I've been using the Hourglass one, I feel like, a lot every day. This is definitely more full coverage. I have this in the shade Beach, which is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, obviously, and I prefer this for just under the eye. I feel like it holds up nicely because it dries down and it just looks so good under the eye. So this has been one of my favorite full coverage concealers. Also, I've been using this one. I got sent this from Valentino, which is so random. When did Valentino start making makeup? I got this in the shade MN4. This is the Very Valentino concealer. This is the most a concealer has ever matched me. They hit it on the mark in terms of like being a neutral shade because I feel like a lot of brands can't do that well and I'm very neutral. I feel like brands, when they see like brown skin tone, they want to go extremely warm and it just like doesn't work for me. This, on the other hand, is the perfect everyday concealer. It's medium coverage. It's so easy to use. I never had any hassle with it. So in terms of like an everyday concealer, this is the one. This one is not as drying as the Hourglass one is. And I don't mean that in like a bad way. I just think this one is a lot more creamier, which I think it just depends what you're looking for in a concealer. So I love both of them. Easily forgot all about my disastrous Huda Beauty concealer that exploded everywhere, and like no matter what I did, kept exploding. Because the packaging is so annoying, I don't even reach for it. Like I can't be bothered. I just use the viewfinder as a mirror, so I think that'll do. And as you can see, I use more of the Valentino concealer because it's more hydrating and it just matches a little bit better than the Hourglass one. And if I really wanted like a super full coverage situation, I would just go all over with the Hourglass one. But as of right now, this is the vibe. Urban Decay dropped these eyeshadow sticks. This is the Urban Decay eyeshadow cream stick. This is in the shade Senescent. Very interesting name. But they have a lot of different formulas in this. I like mattes, especially for a daily basis, and this is like the perfect brown matte. I love it. It is so pretty. This is really the one that I've been sticking to out of that whole range. I haven't tried every single one of them, but this shade specifically I love. So as you can see, just putting a little bit on there, and when I blend this out, it's basically going to give me an My Eyelids but better shade, which is really what I try to do, especially on a daily basis. Like I'm just going to play up the fact that I have pigmentation on my eyelids. And what I really like about these eyeshadow sticks is they're not overly creamy, which is why I feel like I can use them every day. Because sometimes with an eyeshadow stick, it can be a little bit too creamy and then it just wants to crease all over the place. And like on a daily basis, I don't have time for that. You guys know, if you follow me, that I use the Benetint every single day. I use the original shade. As you guys can see, this one's pretty much halfway done. And they just came out with new shades. I've tried both of them. I do not like the dark cherry one as much. It makes me look like I have smoker's lip, okay? Like, I don't love that. I'm not with it. But this shade is like a raspberry shade. This one doesn't have the name on it, which is so odd. I don't know what about it, but just adding color to the lips, even if you don't really do anything else, makes you look so much better, like instantly. And I have a similar shade to this in one of my K-Beauty tints that I was using. But you guys know, K-Beauty, I feel like I love it, but sometimes they tend to, I guess, go bad faster. And that can be hard because I will have to order from YESSTYLE to get Korean products, so look at how pretty that looks. Now obviously I don't know if it necessarily goes with the look because I'm wearing a lot of brown, so we might tone it down a little bit, but it just adds something so pretty to the lips, and this is the raspberry shade. This is in the shade Cognac. I can never say that word, by the way. I did bring some of that brown into the center as well because I really want it to be a little bit more toned down. So I don't know if this deserves its own video, but if you guys want me to do a video on this, I will. This is the new Givenchy Prism Libre pressed powder. You guys know I was obsessed with the actual translucent powder, and then they decided to reformulate it and make it terrible. So when I saw this, I was like, I need to get it. Like, I need this back in my life. Honestly, it's been great. I think that this does a really good job at being matte without being overly matte. The only bad thing is that it smells like a perfume store. Ugh, I don't know why they did that. High-end brands love to do that. It really bothers me. But we're going to use this and we're just going to set the T-zone. I'm going to do one side of the face. As you can see, because of the shades in there, it does also help to neutralize whatever I'm wearing, which is why I also really love this concept overall. And I think I'm just going to set the entire face because even though we're mostly wearing sunscreen, you know, it's still tinted and I feel like I still need it to stay in place and I don't want it to transfer anywhere. So we're doing half of the face. So this is with the Givenchy powder. This is without the Givenchy powder. What do you guys think? I mean, obviously made a huge difference. And that's why I love the Givenchy powders. They are very blurring, and I just think they're so great. I wish, that they didn't include the fragrance in there, but honestly, it is what it is. I haven't noticed that it has been irritating my skin. If it was irritating to the skin, then I definitely would have a problem with it, but I've been testing this one out for like quite some time. I'm also going to go ahead and use my Hourglass Radiant Bronze Light. This is just more of like a lightweight bronzer. Has a little bit of radiance and a little bit of bronze to it. And I'm really, not being extremely particular with this one because you can essentially douse your face in these and it really wouldn't matter. I actually really do like this formula. I think it's almost like an understated formula, which I do like because I have a lot of very pigmented products, but on a daily basis, sometimes I need something that's a little bit more toned down. I mean, I feel like we're missing something because I didn't do any blush today. What do you guys think? Should I do blush? Should I not do blush? I don't know, I'm kind of like feeling this like understated bronze kind of look. Okay, we're gonna use a blush that's always been there for me. This Persona blush in the shade Caramel. This is the Persona Super Blush. This is my favorite everyday blush. It looks so pretty, very understated. The perfect pink, I think, for everyday, especially for my skin tone. Okay guys, so that is it. I did my whole makeup process with you guys. I think the only thing that I would change up a little bit is the lip, I feel like I want something a little bit more nude and brown, but honestly, besides that, I think everything looks good. I think that this Merit sunscreen is so pretty and the perfect lightweight base. I did pair it with the Merit stick, which is what they say to do, and honestly, they paired really well together. If anything, the Merit stick was a little bit more emollient than it usually is because it can glide so easily over the SPF. So I think everything looks really pretty and really good. I'm curious to see how this holds up, but again, we did set it, and I think when I use this, I would set it so that way it doesn't transfer. But so far so good. I think the color match is actually perfect for me. Like, let me know what you guys think. But I love that they made it so easy by using the same shades and names as the foundation stick. So that way, if you already use their products, you have like an idea of what shade you need. There are products that are sheer and I'm like, okay, what's the point of even using this? It's not really giving anything, like I might as well have not used it at all. Obviously, you're not going to get a full coverage beat with this one, but you're going to get something that's very cute and good for every day. As for that, I'm going to end here and I will check in with you guys periodically and then we'll end the day together. So, see you guys in a bit. So, after wearing this throughout the whole day, I feel like it held up really well. I also want you to keep in mind that I filmed this on my Osmo Pocket, which tends to over-exaggerate texture. It wasn't looking like this in real life. It definitely was getting a little bit greasy towards the center of the face, but very lightly. I've actually worn this multiple days in a row, and I think it's perfect for every day. It's definitely something that I would recommend because it feels so lightweight on the face, provides SPF, and it just is a really solid everyday base. Highly recommend this one. That's it for me, so I will see you guys in the next one.